Well, it's 2025 and agents are a thing of the present. Before, it was like, yeah, we got ChatGPT, we got ChatGPT 2, 3, 4, 5, 4.5, Claude. It's been a real interesting year, couple of years, to be honest. And now what we have is agents. A lot of people don't really know. They think it's just like a marketing buzz thing, but it's really something interesting, and I want to talk about it and give you some insight into what it means for your daily life and how it will affect you. Because believe it or not, this will affect you in a positive way or a negative way, but it really depends on how you actually embrace it. So yeah, my name is Santi from RegusciLabs, and I'm here to unravel and give a little bit back to everybody so they can start learning a bit more about AI. Because there's a lot of either technical terms or a lot of marketing buzzwords that go around with AI currently today. And what I want to do is just break it down to simple terms so everybody can learn from this and know exactly what's going on. So, okay, imagine you're a person in the, I don't know, 1800s, right? Or 1700s. And you're just chilling along and you gotta make you have like a construction site, right? And you have to do a hole in the ground. So what do? What are your options? Basically, if you use your hands, like, you're not gonna be in a good spot because basically you're gonna rip your nails out. So I wouldn't recommend that, but I don't know. Then the next best solution in that time would be to use, for example, a shovel. Like, not even a shovel, maybe like a small gardening tool, because I don't know, there's no shovels around. They're barely getting started, and it's what you have. Like, okay, so we got a shovel, right? So we start using the shovel and everything's okay. The only problem is that shovel, to make that hole for a building or whatever structure you want, you're gonna basically need 100 people and 2 months of labor, right? So that's gonna be very, very hard, backbreaking, if you will, and it's gonna get really tiresome really quick. So what's your next solution? Suppose time goes on, you're, I don't know, 1900 or 1850, something like that. You got shovels now, right? So this is the new big thing. Shovels are around and you can use them. So that same building construction site, right, that we got here, we can basically just use shovels instead, and we'll have 20 people working on the same project, and it's probably going to take us a month to make that hole, right? And before, we needed 100 people and 2 months. So just by that metric, we're getting to a place where we need less people and it's less backbreaking, and we have a lot more progress in less amount of time. So that would be one evolution, right? We would go from one technology to the next. And if we extrapolate that a little bit, we could even go a little bit further. Suppose it's already, I don't know, 1970, 80, whatever. And we got excavators, right? So now that excavator is going to be able to do the work, that same hole, exactly same thing, that it took 100 people, 2 months, 20 people, 1 month, using shovels. They got to be sharp, but still, they use shovels. And it's just going to take one person 1 week to complete the same task. And they're going to do it from the luxury of the excavator. It might even have like AC inside, so they're going to be chilling, just having a blast, listening to music and just excavating away, making the hole ready, and everybody's working a little bit better. They don't have to be outside in the sun. So yeah, basically technology has come a long way. This is a very simple way to understand it, but basically what happened was the time it took to make a hole went down, and as time went by, less people were needed. So imagine today in 2025, I will tell you, hey, I need to make a construction site, right? And if you told me, yeah, I'm gonna need 100 people and shovels, I would be like, yeah, I don't think so. I think I'll go and get somebody who has an excavator because it's like a lot quicker. So that's basically what's going on in the world of AI. So what's going on is people are doing repetitive tasks every day, right? Imagine you're doing an Excel, imagine you're doing emails, you're a receptionist, I don't know, whatever the thing is you're doing, it's probably going to be automated with AI. So that's a little bit the crux of it, that you're using a shovel or even a garden shovel, like a garden tool, and you could be using an excavator, right? So instead of going the route of saying, no, I need to use a garden tool, you can just jump ahead and start using excavators for your work. Now, we got to talk a little bit more about another example, which is kind of cool and interesting, of a time and place where automation actually changed how people use, for example, phones, which before was pretty common. Like you would have your rotary phone and you would just like dial, and yeah, you would just have a blast, just call people on line phones, on hard lines. So what happened was, if you go back in history, right, you would have this manual switchboard, which I don't know if you know how it works, but you would basically just grab a wire, like literally just grab one wire, disconnect it, connect it again, disconnect it, connect it again. Like it was very, very repetitive task. And you would do that for 12 hours, whatever time you had to do it. And I wanted to call you, right? So what I would do is I would pick up my phone, that would patch me through to this operator. He would grab the phone and he would say, yeah, where do you want to call? Yeah, I want to call, I don't know, a funeral home, because I need to actually attend some business, so I need to call a funeral home, right? I know it's a little bit grim example, but you'll know exactly why in a little bit. But I gotta call a funeral home because I need to take care of some business. So yeah, and what he would do is basically grab that wire, patch it over. That's why it's patch phone. They would patch it, connect it to another slot, and that slot, what it would do was connect to a funeral home. So I would get a connection between A and B, and this guy, the intermediary, he would be in the middle. Like, yeah, maybe he can just connect, or he could also listen into the calls, which is very important. So what happened? There was this guy called Almond Brown Stroger, and in the late 1800s, 1900s, he was kind of annoyed. So remember, like I said, I was like, yeah, I want to call a funeral home. Well, I actually wanted to call this guy, Almond Brown Stronger. I would say, hey, I want to get your services. How much is a casket, whatever. And the issue was, there was a switchboard operator, right? He would have his funeral home, and he would have a switchboard operator that would always patch the calls, not to him, but to his competition. Why? Well, because that person who was a switchboard operator, her husband, was the director of another funeral home in the same town. So you can imagine the power she had, because basically every time somebody would call and say, hey, I need a casket, instead of patching through to the actual competition, she would say, no, I'm going to send this to my husband. And basically the bottom line of Mr. Almond Brown got affected. He was like, I'm not getting any clients, and I don't know why. And he started to dig into it, and he actually found there was this switchboard operator, which was his competition spouse, and he was not happy about it. So he tried to get her fired. He talked to the authorities. Nobody really cared, and he got fed up. So what did Almond Brown do? You could say, okay, yeah, he was like, I'm not gonna do anything. Just let it be. No, he wasn't gonna take it. So what did he do? He basically invented a stroker switch. This is a really interesting invention. Remember that patch through that you'd connect one cable to the other, and you would have that person actually listening in and connecting? Well, what this does, it's basically just the same thing, but automatically. When you call, it just click, 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 click. It patches in the actual phone line, and that's it. There is no more manual intervention. Of course, this is mechanical. This is not like a electronic thing. This is way before electronics. But still, the guy, what he did was he got a patent for it, and he got filthy rich. Why? Because everybody had the same issue. Like, there was a bunch of problems. You would need a lot of operators, and this was in high demand. So basically what happened was, yeah, he actually invented something out of spite, and not only did he improve because he got rich off the patent, but also, unfortunately, or fortunately for him, that person got fired. Why? Because the work she did as a switchboard operator was redundant, no longer necessary. There was no reason to keep her around, so she was out. She got canned. And this guy started getting again all his calls. So he was pretty happy. I mean, you can imagine. He got his revenge. But yeah, everything because that person was switching the calls, and there was actually an issue with that. So what I want to talk about with this story is the technological advancements that had happened. They're really interesting because basically out of those problems comes innovations and solutions that leap forward progress in all fields. And in AI, it's not really that different. Like, you can go way back. I think, for example, this AI stuff is really similar to what would be the discovery of fire. And I'm not kidding. Because basically, we're using just primitive technology, and now we're actually going ahead and using fire. It's like we're cavewoman, and we discovered, hey, look, I got fire. Now I can use it to cook food. Now I can use it to warm up, etc. Well, AI is basically same thing on steroids. You can use AI for automating your email accounts, automating your calendars, automating any repetitive task that maybe you even think maybe it's not even possible. I don't know, posting on LinkedIn, posting on YouTube, whatever the task is. If you have enough imagination to do it, if you can do it, basically the AI can do it. And the difference between us and the AI is we have to sleep, we have to eat, we get sick, we get tired, we get bored. AI does not have any of that. If you have deep enough pockets, you can basically run this 24/7, and it's just going to continue running. So I know this is a little bit scary on one side. You're like, yeah, I'm going to get fired. I'm going to just be the switchboard operator. But there's a little bit of a difference here. The difference is there's basically a wave, right? There's an AI wave that's coming, and a lot of people, they don't know this is going on. They're like just in automatic mode, working every day. They continue doing the same things, and they don't really know that this is foundationally changing everything. And I'm not just saying it because I want to like fearmonger or anything. This is actually changing how we work, how we interact, how we think about task. So you have two options. One, you just like go under a wave, and that's one possibility. Or the other one, you can basically just surf it. And what I mean by surfing the AI wave is using this to your advantage. Like you have two people, right, at work. One's gonna be using AI, and the other one's not gonna be using AI. So the one that learns how to use AI is gonna be much quicker, more proactive. It's like the shovel, the garden tool, the shovel, and the excavator. You're gonna be able to have an excavator at your disposal for your processes. So when there was no Excel or anything like that, and people started using Excel or Google Drive, whatever you want to call it, people were like, yeah, I know Excel. I can do this a lot quicker than by hand, by just manually doing accounting. And now, if you ask anybody in a new company and you go and tell them, yeah, I don't know how to use computers. I mean, they're kind of a fad. Like, I don't know. It's like, they're going to look at you very weird, and they're going to say like, wait, you don't know how to use a computer? That's okay. That's interesting. I don't know where you've been, but yeah. This is the same thing. Like AI is basically everywhere. And it's going to be more and more present. So what I want to give you a little bit is also a sense of not only instilling fear, because of course you got to be present in the moment and be human enough to recognize that this is going to be a change, and the way you actually embrace it will depend on how you feel about it. So you can either go the route of, this is it, I'm done, I'm retiring, or there's nothing left for me, and just, I don't know, giving up. Or you can actually embrace it and say, okay, how do I make my 8 hours of work 4 hours of work? Because instead of working 8 hours, I can work 4 hours, and the other 4 hours I can delegate those trivial tasks or repetitive tasks that I do all the time. I don't know, read my email, send a WhatsApp, send a Telegram, whatever it is. Those tasks I can delegate. And I think we still have the edge on top of AI, because our brains have evolved a lot and we're very intelligent, right? So we're very good at connecting points and actually giving novel ideas, and like creating a switchboard or creating an excavator or whatever it is, or AI even, right? So I think that still is valid, and that will continue to be valid. But the thing that will be more interesting will be personal relations between humans. Like I will talk to another person, I'll see them in person. I'll also have more time to be, I don't know, with my family, with my friends, to do sports, whatever you want. But don't think that AI is only one problem that's going to come and just take everything away. You can take it from both sides. Like, it's a tool. You have to learn how to use it. You have to use it daily. And once you actually understand what is going on and how we use it, then you're actually going to be able to unlock this wonderful sensation of, okay, I can actually take some time off because this thing is working for me. I don't think we're going to come to a place like in the couple of years that, okay, humans are totally replaced and we don't exist anymore. And if that happens, like, don't worry about it, because like we're all going to be, I don't know, at a beach just chilling and yeah, sipping pina colada or where you want. I mean, you really don't got to worry about it, because if that really goes south and nobody has a work, nobody works anymore, then yeah, we're probably in a better spot. I don't know. But this is going to be a really interesting year, and this is going to be one of the years, like a pivotal year. It's going to actually tell us how this is going to work out. Like I said, first we had the GPTs, like just transformer models. Then we started getting more into prompt engineering and all that stuff. And now this year is agents, which are basically glorified text that you tell them what to do and they do it. And the only difference is that an agent has access to your calendar, access to your Gmail, access to your spreadsheets, whatever you want. And the agent can be sleeping and he's still going to be working. While you're asleep, he's going to be working. That's the only difference between what we had in the past and what we have now. So I think this is going to be a really interesting year, and I hope you continue watching these videos. I'm going to be doing more on these AI agents and more topics related to them and how they actually affect individuals and businesses, because this is going to be a really crazy year. And yeah, if you want to keep in the loop and actually just continue to learn about it, yeah, just subscribe and give me a thumbs up and comment if you think I'm crazy. And if you hate my jokes, well, I can understand. That's one of my staples. I have really bad jokes, so I don't know. I hope you enjoy this episode, and yeah, have a wonderful day. Thank you.